Good evening, campers, dreamers, and babysitters. When Carla and Dean decide to escape the city, only to find themselves on the remote land of a strange cult claiming a connection to the flesh-eating Bigfoot, they must save themselves and uncover the terrifying truth of the cult's prophecy. Yes, folks, this is my raw reaction review for Summoning the Spirit. Yes, folks, so again, another creature feature, and you're just getting your boy, Dylan here, of course. You know how it is. Anytime a monster flick, a big shark, or, a giant alligator, or even the elusive Bigfoot, you will get me behind the camera, guaranteed. So, what can I say about Summoning the Spirit? Well, this was a movie, again, I didn't really know a lot about, but we got the screener offering, and, it was something that intrigued me just by the concept of it. Some of the early buzz that I had heard was that this very much felt like a lower budgeted Midsummer with a Bigfoot in it. And I would say that those are very, very accurate claims. I think that there's definitely a lot of inspiration coming from Ari Aster's Midsummer in this project. I think everything from the way some of the scenes are shot, to the way that they are lit and colored, to even the music, which was very, very Midsummer-esque. So I think making that comparison on the whole is absolutely accurate. I could not sit here and fight that at all. I mean, if I hadn't even heard those claims, I probably would have been making those connections, just because, again, that music is so similar. And, honestly, that is an interesting concept. The idea of having this kind of a cult that owns this land, this property, and these people kind of move there to, get away from the world, get away from their busy day jobs and lives in the city. And, they just want to become one with nature. And, to have this elusive, cryptid, per se, of Bigfoot out there either wreaking havoc or, just protecting his land. It definitely intrigues me, and I'm a bit of an easy sell on these things. I don't think I have to say it, for as long of an extent as I did in my Meg 2 review of just how much into creature features I am, but I watch a ton of these movies, and Bigfoot movies are a niche that I absolutely adore. I love films like Willow Creek, but my favorite, which, up to debate, but kind of a Bigfoot movie, Abominable. We did cover that on the channel. We have a full podcast episode on it. It is actually the second episode since we rebooted. So if you go all the way down in the videos, you can find that there. Awesome, awesome movie. And, I went into this saying, hey, it's been a while since I've had a Bigfoot movie. I'd really like to sit down and just let this consume me with kind of the cheesy nature of these Bigfoot movies, and how, they kind of just have the monster come through and start wreaking havoc and seeing how people deal with it. And the cult angle intrigued me. So how does Summoning the Spirit live up to all of its potential here? How does it live up to the ideas that they present? Not very well. Yeah, unfortunately, this is a movie that really didn't work for me on the whole. I felt that, as it started, I was intrigued. They take a very different approach than I think what I was expecting, or what any of the promotional material or even the trailer will sell to you, as far as just how integral the actual Bigfoot stuff is. Like, it's very much the centerpiece of the story. It's just that he's not there very much, and it's kind of a thing that when I'm watching a film like this, or I go in with the expectation of a Bigfoot horror film, I want to see Bigfoot, and Bigfoot is just kind of honestly like background set dressing in this for most of the film. And then by the time that you do get that visceral Bigfoot action that you're hoping for, it's a little too late, and I was pretty much already checked out. I finished it for the review, and I don't mean to be super harsh, considering that this was definitely made on a lower budget, and they could tell that the cast and everybody involved was doing their best, but it just overall, I think, have a hard time getting behind this film because I just didn't find myself all that invested in the cult stuff. I was there for the Bigfoot stuff, and that didn't work either. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like both aspects that I thought were interesting going in, they leave a lot to be desired. Now, with that being said, I do think that there are a couple of positives here. There's definitely a lot of potential in the idea of kind of like a interweaving a cult story and a Bigfoot kind of lore and mythology. I think that, you know, with a little bit more time on the script, and just really trying to kind of weave this mystery a little bit stronger as to what exactly the cult's intentions were and how exactly Bigfoot really factored into that. I really think that there could have been a neat idea in this, or at least a neat story that could have played out from this idea. So I think that I got to give at least the concept some praise. But, you know, as far as just what was put out on screen and what I've watched, it just left a lot to be desired. And I think that there's just a lot of moments here that it's a very tonally backwards film, if that makes any sense. I just think that there's a lot of moments that I couldn't tell if they were being played for humor or if they were, just the way that they got it, just the take that they got for the day. And, you know, I don't really necessarily want to sit here and fault the actors for this, because I think that they do a serviceable job. I just genuinely think that there are elements of this script, the way it's written, the way it was put together, that just don't mesh like quite well. I think that the characters needed a few more passes on them. They try to set up some drama between the cult members and our couple here, and some interpersonal drama between the couple themselves. And it just really feels like they're just trying to extend the runtime a little bit and kind of get you to the next potential Bigfoot stuff. But even then, the Bigfoot stuff isn't all that satisfying in and of itself. Again, I will give them credit that they do use a practical Bigfoot here, which is awesome. I think that, you know, the fact that they went for practical effects is great. Does the Bigfoot look all that scary and intimidating? No, but I don't necessarily know if that was the approach at the end of the day, if that's really where they wanted to go with their Bigfoot. I think that they very much wanted this to be more of this, for lack of a better term, spiritual kind of guiding force, entity of the forest kind of deal. And, it comes off as a very naturalistic approach to the Bigfoot. But again, once you run into those horror elements and the Bigfoot starts, dispatching certain characters, you don't have any real investment or tension or real like intimidation factor. And, I think that you really need that when it comes to creature features. You really need to get that audience invested in just at least seeing your monster rip people apart. I think some of the Bigfoot movies that I want to praise here that really do that well, other than Abominable, which I think aces that, would be something like Big Legend from a few years ago. I think that they do a really good job with that concept and making that Bigfoot intimidating and unique looking, as well as Primal Rage, which also does a really good job. Now, those are low budget films in and of themselves. I think they have a bit of a bigger budget than this, and they're not perfect by any means. I don't think there really is an absolute perfect Bigfoot movie other than maybe Abominable. Like, I know I'm praising that film a lot, but it's the best reference point that I have. And so it's one of those things where this just didn't live up to even that, where it's like, I'm very forgiving. I'm very much a supporter, and I want to get on board with my cryptids and my goofy werewolf films and everything. I love this shit, and I just could not get invested in this movie. I could not sit here and give you an honest review by saying, oh, it's good, it's got some flaws here. No, I genuinely could not find an avenue of interest, really, other than admiring the fact that, there was a team of people here who went out and made a film, and making a film is hard. I mean, we've been working on our short film now. for a few months, and it's been very difficult. And we have literally like probably a very, very minuscule amount of money that these folks had, and these folks probably had the tiniest percentile of what something like even a Outwaters or Skinamarink had. So I have to give them props there, at least that they went out and they attempted this, and again, that the concept was there. I just think that maybe if they would have refined their story a bit more, if they would have focused up on making the Bigfoot more of a threat and at least more of a presence in the film, I think that it would have taken me on a much more interesting journey. And at the end of the day, I can't really sit here and recommend checking out Summoning the Spirit unless, again, you are a creature feature fan and you do want to give it a spin yourself. I just don't think that it's going to really scratch any of the itches you're looking for. Now, if you are kind of into these surrealist cult films, I mean, maybe you'll find some enjoyment here. But again, I think even from that angle, the movie kind of falls flat. I don't think that the cults, other than just their main motivation being the Bigfoot stuff that they're involved in, it's not really all that well fleshed out. I had a hard time following the hierarchy and trying to understand really who was in charge and why certain things were happening. It just wasn't very clear. And I think that at the end of the day, it just kind of left me scratching my head on the whole. Nevertheless, guys, Summoning the Spirit will be on digital and DVD on August 8th. So yes, that is today. I'm getting this review up a little bit late just because it has been so crazy in my personal life between work and everything. But I did want to get this review out there to you guys. Again, I like to give these things a shot. I like to give any creature feature, a chance. And again, I'm a very forgiving person when it comes to these, but this one just didn't work for me. But I mean, again, if you see this trailer and you see this promotional material and it seems like something that would be more up your alley, go ahead and give it a shot. There's nothing wrong with supporting a small filmmaker and, their vision. I definitely think that, again, there was a concept here that could have been expanded a little bit more and probably brought us something a bit more interesting. Maybe if they refined some things and really honed their story, I think that we probably could have walked away a little bit more satisfied. Again, that is just my personal opinion. But yeah, other than that, guys, we got a lot of great stuff up on the channel right now. We just got to check out the film The Passenger last week with Kyle Gallner. Some really great stuff there, as well as the new Stephen King documentary, King on Screen, which you just posted our review on Monday. Definitely enjoyed that. And just a little bit ago, I also posted, as of recording this, my interview with Daphne Byware, where I talked to her about her documentary. So definitely some good content up there and more to come as always. So keep it here. Stick with us. We got lots of great stuff on the horizon. And yeah, guys, that's going to wrap it up here for me. So I guess until next time, I'm Dylan Newell. And remember, stay scared.